What if I told you that one of the fastest serves in women's tennis had just been completely neutralized not by a power hitter, but by a 21-year-old Filipina who simply refused to be intimidated? That's exactly what happened in Toronto. Alex Eala walked onto the court knowing she wasn't just facing Alycia Parks, she was facing one of the most intimidating weapons on the WTA Tour, serve that has been clocked at 129 miles per hour, tying the record for the fastest serve in women's tennis history. Most players spend an entire match trying to survive against that kind of firepower. Alex Eala did something completely different. She dismantled it. In just over an hour, she delivered one of her most complete performances of the season, defeating the powerful American in straight sets and continuing a remarkable winning streak that has captured the attention of tennis fans around the world. But here's where the story becomes even more fascinating. This wasn't just another victory, it was revenge. Months earlier, Alycia Parks had handed Alex one of the most frustrating losses of her season at the Australian Open. After winning the opening set convincingly, Alex watched the match slip away as Parks stormed back to complete an impressive comeback. For many young players, defeats like that leave lasting scars. For Alex Eala, it became motivation. She studied, she improved, she waited patiently for another opportunity, and when that opportunity finally arrived in Toronto, she made sure history wouldn't repeat itself. Now, with another statement victory behind her, Alex stands one step closer to an even bigger opportunity on the WTA 1000 stage, a tournament capable of changing rankings, careers, and perhaps even the future of Philippine tennis. So, how did she solve one of the biggest serves in professional tennis? What adjustments transformed a painful defeat into such a convincing victory? And can this incredible momentum carry her toward another unforgettable run? Today on Tennis Diaries, we're breaking down the match that proved Alex Eala isn't just improving, she's becoming one of the most dangerous rising stars on the WTA Tour. Let's get into it. Confidence is one of the most powerful weapons in professional sports. Winning changes the way athletes think, it changes the way opponents prepare. Most importantly, it changes the way pressure feels. When Alex Eala arrived in Toronto for the Canadian Open, she wasn't carrying the uncertainty that had surrounded her earlier in the season. She arrived as a champion, fresh off the biggest title of her young career. Alex stepped onto Canadian soil with something every player searches for, but few truly possess: belief built through results. That confidence was immediately tested. Her second-round opponent, Alycia Parks, presented a challenge unlike almost anyone else on the WTA Tour. Standing across the net was a player famous for explosive power, fearless shot-making, and one of the fastest serves women's tennis has ever recorded. Parks doesn't simply start points with her serve, she often finishes them before rallies even begin. For opponents, that creates constant pressure. Break opportunities become rare. Every service game feels like a battle just to stay alive. Alex knew exactly what Parks was capable of because she had experienced it firsthand. Earlier in the season at the Australian Open, the two players met for the first time. It looked like Alex was in complete control after dominating the opening set. Then everything changed. Parks adjusted her aggressive game, found her rhythm behind the serve, and completed an impressive comeback, leaving Alex with a disappointing early round exit. Losses like that can become defining moments. Some players allow them to damage their confidence, others use them as valuable lessons. Alex clearly chose the second path. Following months of hard work and steady improvement, she arrived in Toronto looking like a completely different competitor. Before the tournament even began, she openly acknowledged how much her game had evolved since January, and once the match started, those improvements became obvious. From the very first return game, Alex showed that she had a completely different strategy. Instead of standing deep behind the baseline and reacting to Parks' power, she stepped forward, she attacked, she took the ball early rather than allowing Parks to dictate every point with her serve. Alex immediately disrupted the rhythm that had caused her so many problems earlier in the year. It was a bold tactical decision against one of the biggest servers in the sport. Timing is everything. Arrive too early and the ball flies past you, react too late and you're immediately on defense. Alex found the perfect balance. She absorbed the pace, redirected the power, and consistently forced Parks into extended rallies, exactly the kind of exchanges the American wanted to avoid. Suddenly, one of the WTA Tour's biggest weapons wasn't producing easy points anymore. Instead, every service game became a challenge. Every rally became another opportunity for Alex to showcase her growing confidence. As progressed, the momentum shifted dramatically. Alex wasn't simply returning serves, she was controlling points. Her movement looked sharp, her anticipation was exceptional. Whenever Parks managed to land a big first serve, Alex calmly reset the rally, and patiently waited for the right opportunity to attack. When the American missed her first serve, Alex became even more dangerous. She stepped inside the court, attacked the second delivery with confidence, and immediately put pressure on Parks from the very first shot. It was intelligent tennis, disciplined tennis, championship-level tennis. The scoreboard quickly reflected that dominance. Alex earned multiple break opportunities through relentless returning and outstanding consistency, refusing to allow Parks any breathing room. Meanwhile, the atmosphere inside the stadium continued building. With every passing game, Toronto's large Filipino community showed up in incredible numbers, creating an environment that often felt more like a home match than an away tournament. Every winner from Alex brought another eruption of applause. Every successful return generated even louder cheers. The energy inside the stadium kept growing, but the biggest test was still ahead. Powerful servers can change matches in just a few games. One hot streak can completely reverse momentum. Alex knew she could. Even a single point to complete the revenge, she would have to maintain the same intensity from the opening serve to the final handshake, and that's exactly where the match became even more impressive. If the first set proved Alex Eala had a winning game plan, the second set would reveal something even more important. Could she stay composed once Alycia Parks began fighting back? Great servers rarely disappear quietly. Players with Parks' power are always capable of turning a match around with just a few explosive games, and everyone inside the stadium understood that the contest was far from over. Parks came out with renewed determination. She began attacking her forehand more aggressively, looking to shorten rallies before Alex could settle into her rhythm. Every service game became more urgent as she searched for a way back into the match, but this time Alex wasn't the same player who had walked off the court disappointed in Melbourne earlier in the season. She had learned, she had evolved. Most importantly, she trusted her preparation rather than allowing Parks to dictate the pace. Alex continued executing the strategy that had worked so well throughout the opening set. She anticipated the serve beautifully, stepped confidently inside the baseline, and immediately put pressure on every second serve. That decision completely changed the dynamic of the match. Instead of earning quick free points with her powerful delivery, Parks found herself playing longer rallies than she wanted. Those extra shots gave Alex exactly when the longer each rally lasted, the more the advantage shifted toward the Filipina. Alex's footwork was exceptional. She covered the court with remarkable speed, forcing Parks to hit one difficult shot after another. Whenever the American unleashed a powerful forehand, Alex calmly absorbed the pace and redirected the ball into open space. It wasn't flashy, it was smart. Every point reflected the maturity of a player who understood exactly how to neutralize one of the tour's biggest weapons. Perhaps the most impressive part of Alex's performance wasn't the winners she hit, it was the mistakes she refused to make. She stayed patient during extended exchanges. She resisted the temptation to over it. Instead of chasing spectacular shots, she built each point with discipline, waiting for Parks to offer an opening. Eventually, those opportunities came. As the second set reached its critical stage, Alex sensed the momentum beginning to shift again. Every return landed with confidence. Every service game became more secure. Meanwhile, being forced to play increasingly risky tennis simply to stay within striking distance. Then came the breakthrough at one of the biggest moments of the match. Alex produced another outstanding return game, applying relentless pressure until Parks finally cracked under the weight of it. The break of serve changed everything. Now Alex stood just one service game away from completing the revenge she had waited months to achieve. Pressure can affect players in different ways. Some become cautious, others become overwhelmed by the moment. Alex showed neither. She walked to the baseline with complete composure, displaying the calm confidence that has quickly become one of the defining characteristics of her game. Point by point, she remained focused on execution rather than emotion. A solid first serve, an aggressive return, a controlled rally, one point after another moved her closer to victory. Finally, after just over an hour on court, the last point was played. Alex Eala had defeated Alycia Parks in straight sets. The handshake at the net marked far more than another win. It completed a personal redemption. After suffering a frustrating defeat at the Australian Open, Alex had returned stronger, smarter, and far more complete. As a player, this wasn't simply revenge. It was proof of growth. During her post-match interview, Alex reflected on the transformation that had taken place throughout the season. She explained that her game had improved significantly compared to where it had been at the beginning of the year, a statement that perfectly matched what everyone had just witnessed on the court. That confidence didn't develop overnight. It had been built through months of hard work, countless practice sessions, and valuable lessons learned from difficult defeats. The Victory in Toronto also extended Alex's impressive winning streak, reinforcing the belief that her breakthrough title in Washington had not been a one-week surprise. Instead, it appeared to be the beginning of something much bigger. As tennis analysts reviewed the match, one theme continued appearing in their discussions. Alex wasn't winning because opponents were playing poorly. She was winning because she was making elite players uncomfortable. Against Parks, she had completely disrupted one of the fastest serves in women's tennis. Rather than allowing raw power to dictate the match, she used anticipation, positioning, and intelligent shot selection to flip the advantage in her favor. That's the hallmark of an elite competitor. Champions don't always overpower their opponents. Sometimes they outthink them. The atmosphere in Toronto reflected that growing respect. Every match featuring Alex now attracted larger crowds. Filipino supporters filled sections of the stadium with flags, cheers, and non-stop encouragement, creating an incredible environment that energized every point. Their support wasn't simply about celebrating victories, it was about witnessing history unfold in real time. For years, Philippine tennis fans had dreamed of seeing one of their own consistently compete with the world's best. Now that dream was becoming reality, and Alex embraced every bit of that support. She spoke warmly about the incredible Filipino community that continued showing up wherever she played, explaining how meaningful it was to see so many people rally behind both her and the sport of tennis. Still, despite all the attention, Alex remained grounded. She made it clear that rankings weren't her primary focus. Instead, she emphasized something much simpler: winning matches, continuing to improve, producing her best tennis every time she stepped onto the court. That mindset may ultimately be one of her greatest strengths, because while fans celebrated every ranking jump and every headline, Alex stayed focused on the process that had brought her this far. The next challenge, however, promised to be even tougher. Waiting further ahead in the draw was the possibility of another meeting with one of the tour's biggest stars, a player who had already defeated Alex earlier in the season. It was another opportunity, another test, and perhaps another chance for revenge. With Alycia Parks behind her, Alex Eala didn't spend much time celebrating. There wasn't time. The Canadian Open is one of the most demanding tournaments on the WTA calendar, and every victory simply earns the right to face another difficult challenge. The deeper a player, the stronger the competition becomes. Alex understood that better than anyone. Her straight-set victory had generated headlines across the tennis world, but inside her camp, the focus immediately shifted to what came next. The mission wasn't over, it was only getting bigger. One of the reasons Alex has become one of the fastest rising stars on the WTA Tour is her ability to stay grounded even as expectations continued to grow. During interviews following the match, she made it clear that she wasn't obsessed with rankings or outside attention. While she appreciates reaching new milestones, her primary goal remains remarkably simple: continue improving and keep winning matches one at a time. That mentality may be the biggest reason behind her rapid development. Many young players become distracted after a breakthrough tournament. Alex appears determined not to. Instead of chasing headlines, she's chasing better tennis. Instead of focusing on pressure, she focuses on preparation. Instead of worrying about expectations, she concentrates on the next point. That mindset has transformed her into one of the most dangerous competitors in the draw. As Toronto continued, excitement surrounding Alex reached another level. The city's large Filipino community embraced her as one of their own, creating an atmosphere unlike almost anything seen elsewhere on the tour. Philippine flags filled the stands. Fans waited for hours just to catch a glimpse of her during practice. Every winner she struck was met with deafening cheers. Every successful point felt like a celebration shared by thousands of supporters. Alex noticed it immediately. She expressed her appreciation for the incredible support, saying it was inspiring to see so many Filipinos coming together and showing their passion for tennis. She also spoke about how moments like these help grow the sport and inspire future generations. Back home, that support has become one of the defining stories of her remarkable season. Wherever she plays, fans now arrive expecting something special, and more often than not, Alex delivers. But Toronto also presented another fascinating storyline. Waiting deeper in the tournament was the possibility of facing reigning Wimbledon champion Linda Noskova. Player Alex knows very well their previous meetings had gone in the Czech stars' favor. Noskova's aggressive baseline game, powerful first serve, and ability to finish points quickly had created difficult problems for Alex earlier in the season. On paper, it looked like another enormous. But tennis isn't played on paper. Momentum changes confidence, changes players evolve, and perhaps no player has evolved more dramatically over the last several months than Alex Eala. The version of Alex that stepped onto the court in Berlin earlier in the year is not the same player competing in Toronto today. Since then, she has captured the biggest title of her career. She has climbed to a career-high ranking. She has defeated Olympic champions, Grand Slam champions, former world #1 caliber opponents, and established members of the WTA elite. Most importantly, she has developed complete confidence in her own game that changes everything. If a rematch with Noskova were to happen, Alex wouldn't walk onto the court hoping she could compete. She would walk onto the court knowing she belongs there. That's the difference championship victories create. They remove doubt, they replace uncertainty with belief, and belief is one of the most dangerous weapons any athlete can possess. Still, Alex knows reputation alone doesn't win matches. Every tournament starts at zero. Every opponent demands complete focus. Every victory must be earned all over again. That's exactly why her approach has remained so consistent throughout this incredible run. She prepares, she competes, she adjusts, then she repeats the process. It's a formula that has carried her farther than many expected only a few months ago. Another storyline adding excitement to Toronto is the tournament itself. As one of the premier WTA 1000 events, the Canadian Open offers enormous ranking points, substantial prize money, and the opportunity to establish yourself among the sport's elite. For players with championship ambitions, success here can completely reshape an entire season. For Alex, the opportunity is enormous. Every additional victory strengthens her position among the world's best while providing invaluable experience against elite competition. But perhaps the greatest reward cannot be measured by rankings or prize money. It's respect. Respect from opponents, respect from coaches, respect from commentators, and respect from tennis fans around the world who now recognize Alex Eala as far more than an exciting prospect. She has become a legitimate contender, someone capable of challenging anyone on the right day. That's an incredible transformation for a player who entered the season still searching for her defining breakthrough. Now, every draw featuring Alex immediately attracts attention. Every match becomes must-watch television. Every tournament raises another fascinating question: how much higher can she climb? No one knows the answer, yet the competition only gets tougher from here. The expectations become greater, the pressure continues to increase. But if the last several months have taught the tennis world anything, it's this: never underestimate Alex Eala. Every time people have questioned whether she was ready for the next step, she has responded with another memorable performance. Every time critics wondered if she could compete with the best, she found another signature victory. And every time the challenge became bigger, Alex somehow elevated her game. That's why her journey has captured the imagination of tennis fans across the globe, because they aren't simply watching a talented young player improve, they're watching the rise of someone who may help shape the future of women's tennis for years to come. Strong conclusion: Alex Eala's victory over Alycia Parks wasn't just another result on the scoreboard, it was a statement. A statement that hard work, intelligent adjustments, and unwavering belief can transform disappointment into triumph. Months after suffering a painful defeat against the same opponent, Alex returned stronger, smarter, and more complete than ever by neutralizing one of the fastest serves in women's tennis and advancing with authority. She showed exactly why she has become one of the most exciting players on the WTA Tour. Now the spotlight grows even brighter, bigger matches await, greater challenges lie ahead. But one thing is no longer in doubt: Alex Eala has earned her place among the game's rising stars, and the tennis world will be watching every step of her remarkable journey. CTA. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more tennis news from Tennis Diaries. Thank you for watching.